So this is a video that's literally been almost 3 years in the making. Today we're going to be exploring this big chonker of a laptop that Sony released back in 2004. In classic Sony fashion, they pulled some letters and numbers out of thin air and dubbed this the VGN-A190 or the PCG-8Q5L, depending on what part of the machine you look at. But it is a Sony Vaio, and it is definitely a chonker. This thing is 1.5 inches thick, it has a 17-inch display, and weighs almost 9 pounds. That's because this was meant to be a desktop replacement, a machine where portability isn't a primary function, but more of a nice accessory that you use every once in a while. And speaking of accessories, we've also got the included dock, as well as the set of speakers that you plug into it. All for the not-so-low price of $2,800. So today we're going to see how it holds up over 20 years later. Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. So I gotta give a huge thank you to Anthony for donating all of this stuff to the channel way back in 2022. Yeah, it's definitely been a while, and there's a couple of reasons for that, one of which is just the general thing that happens when you work on multiple projects at one time, but the other thing is that I was trying to track down the recovery media for this laptop because it is currently running a clean install of Windows XP. And you know that a video about one of these old computers wouldn't be complete without digging through all the glorious bloatware that comes pre-installed, but I was having a lot of trouble tracking down the recovery CD even after scouring the Internet Archive and the Vaio library, the latter of which has a ton of recovery media, but unfortunately not any of the images that I was looking for. So I turned to making a couple posts online, and a viewer named Gabriel reached out, said he had the discs, and he offered to send me the 3 ISOs that I needed to do a factory restore, and he also put them up on the Internet Archive, so I'll have that link down below for anybody else who's been searching for these. But before we get to the restore, I want to talk a little bit more about the docking station and, how this whole system worked, because this thing is really more of an entertainment center that also functions as a computer. The docking station is pretty typical. You can plug the laptop into it and undock it whenever you want, even while the machine is powered on, so you can easily take it along with you when you were traveling, though as I mentioned it is pretty freaking large, so it's probably not something you would be bringing with you everywhere you went. If we flip this around to the back side, you'll see that we have a ton of connections available to us. You've got 2 USB ports on each side, 2 display out connections, one for VGA, one for DVI. You've got your speaker connections up here, optical out, Ethernet, composite in and out, as well as S-video in and out, a printer connection, your power port down here, and a coax connection for hooking up an antenna or a set-top box, or heck, even a game console, because yeah, this thing has a TV tuner built in so that you could watch and record TV content, because yeah, like I said, this is really just a whole media center system. And yeah, I'm really curious to see what software Sony included on here to manage all this stuff, and hopefully it's something good. And we're going to find out together here as we jump into the factory restore. Alright, here we are booted into the existing XP install, and we have disk 1 of 3 put into the drive, which is the startup disk, and then these other 2 are the actual recovery disks. So yeah, we're just going to have to do a restart here. And yeah, here's where it just immediately asks us for disk number 1, so it's already ejected the drive for us, so we'll pop in recovery numero uno and press OK. So here we go. It tells us to disconnect all peripheral devices. Hopefully it doesn't mean the dock, but we're just going to continue with it plugged in like this anyways. C drive recovery, and then we have custom recovery. We can change partition size, recover pre-installed programs, and recovers the entire system. Yeah, let's go with custom recovery just to see what options we get. So we have complete recovery, but it says it's only available through the recovery media kit, and I don't know if that's what we have. The other option that's not grayed out is C and D drive recovery, which just restores the C and D drive to their original factory installed states. I guess let's just try to go with complete recovery and see if that works. So the size of your C drive will be 15 gigabytes. The remaining hard drive space is allocated to the D drive. Well, I guess if it doesn't work, if we don't actually have the recovery media kit, we can just, we can just go back in here and just do that simple option. But I did look on the machine and there wasn't any data or anything like that, and when Anthony sent this to me, he didn't mention anything about, like, you know, oh, could you back up, you know, anything for me. I'm sure he did all that beforehand, but I always like to check just to be sure, just to make sure I'm not wiping any, like, important data or family photos or anything like that. So it's done the partitioning, it looks like. Right now it's restoring the drive, which that's actually rather fast there, and then I guess it just restarts. And yeah, that just straight up restarted. My camera battery died at the worst possible time there. But yeah, so we're booting back into the recovery environment. And there we go. So it's copying files over. And there it is asking for disk number 2. So we are going to pop that in. And we'll hit OK. Looks like it's almost done copying files. So I assume disk 2 is going to be used for something else. And there we go. We're back at this screen. So it looks like it is partitioning again. 36 minutes and 18 seconds remaining. Oh boy. Alright, well, we're already down to 15 minutes, so yeah, this definitely is going a little bit faster than it initially seemed, which is fantastic. And there we go, recovery process is complete. So we already have the disk removed, so we can click on finish and have it restart. Oh my gosh, that old Windows XP boot screen when it actually said the edition. Man, yeah, that was changing, like, what, SP1, SP2? Oh, there we go. And listen to that. Let me turn the speakers up here. Yeah, I know it probably doesn't come over the video very well, but it just sounds incredible with this whole speaker setup and everything. You know, it's so weird seeing the XP welcome screen at this high resolution because I'm so used to using it on my old computer setup back there with, you know, a 1024 by 768 monitor that I always have set to 800 by 600. Oh, and check out that wallpaper. That's pretty cool, isn't it? It looks like we have the silver metallic theme applied. And yeah, we've got, oh my gosh, configure Netscape ISP AOL broadband. Oh, we've got some wonderful stuff on here, don't we? It looks like it's doing some more post-install stuff here, so it's copying a screensaver right now. I'm going to see if I can quickly hop into settings here and just lower the resolution down to 1280 by 768. There we go, that's a little bit better. So it looks like it is, yeah, this application recovery wizard thing came up and is now recovering the selected applications, which just means everything. And yeah, it's installing a GigaPocket. So yeah, we're gonna have just a whole bunch of stuff in here, aren't we? Oh my gosh, holy... We're not even done yet. Look at how much stuff is in here. This is insane. Jeez, okay. So, alright, this will be fun. Norton Internet Security 2004. Gosh, that is a fantastic way to start our bloatware exploration thing here. So, yeah, we got a copy of that on here. On the desktop, we have, like, a ton of stuff. Oh, it looks like it's actually got the, yeah, like the single-click thing set as, like when you hover over it, you know, selects it, and you can just single-click to start something. Yeah, I actually don't really like Windows configured that way, so we'll have to go and change that at some point. But yeah, we got AOL 8 Plus on here. Rather appropriate considering my last video was on AOL Gold that is still a thing in 2025, yeah, believe it or not. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of stuff here on the desktop, and then let's see if our program says, yeah, it's definitely grown even more in here. Like, look at all this stuff in here, jeez. I knew Sony had kind of a reputation for bundling a whole bunch of stuff with their computers, but geez, okay. We've got Adobe Photoshop Elements. We've got Microsoft Works Task Launcher, so we've got Works on here, yeah. We also have an Office 60-day trial right here, so that's going to be, yeah, 2003. We've got Sonic Stage, Mastering Studio, Remote Commander, Enter Video Win DVD 5, GigaPocket. I have no idea, what is this? Ah, okay, this is one of the TV programs, because we also have Vio TV on here. How does this differ from that? Oh, okay, it just mentions the, yeah, GigaPocket is in here as like a, yeah, TV program, website, internet, electronic program guide, GigaPocket Explorer. Well, yeah, at this point, I'm definitely not going to go through every single thing in here. I just want to focus on the Vio-specific programs, which I guess includes this GigaPocket thing here. You've got Vio Media, And so this is, actually, what is this? Server administration, install VAIO media on other VAIO PCs. Okay, so this is a full screen media player type thing with some wonderful sound effects. That's great. It enables you to enjoy media contents on your computer, such as music, photo, and video files. So yeah, we'll start that. I'm going to go ahead and turn the volume down because that is going to get very, very annoying very quickly. I mean, I think it's just like a regular player. Like if we go into music here, oh, it's looking for servers. Okay, so this might be something that kind of interacts with your network. Well, we can register this device. After registration, all media content stored on the server, including live TV playback, can be accessed from your network by using VAIO media on this computer. Well, I was reading this help document a little bit, and yeah, you can totally use this to basically set up a media server, but you would use that program as the client on all the other systems as well. So let's go into Winver here. I'm curious to see if we're running Service Pack 1, which we are, so there you go. The thing I'm definitely the most interested in trying out, though, is the TV stuff. So let's open up this program again here, this little launcher, and take a look at just what these programs are. So the Pocket Explorer will display a list of video capsules or timer recordings to manage them. So that's like when you already have stuff recorded. TV program, website, internet electronic program guide is not going to really be of any use to us. But then this right here, the personal video recorder, which has the TV recording deck and the playback deck. That sounds like what we want. So we can click on that. That very well, yeah, that's just the exact same program that we were in before. We have a setup wizard. We can choose, you know, what the input source is. Set GigaPocket server password. So this is if you want to use it over the network. You have to set a password. We'll just do a super secure one there. Hit finish. While we've got this open, I went ahead and grabbed this old VHS-C camera that I featured a little bit on the channel before. And I've got a composite video cable plugged into the back. And then we should be able to change the input. I'm assuming from this program, if we go into settings, recording mode. Okay, well that's like the quality settings, sound mode, set channel maybe. Okay, well here's all the channel settings, modify TV setup, we've got picture quality. Oh, there it is. Select input, TV tuner or video under picture quality for some reason. That's kind of a weird thing. And yeah, look at that. There we go. So yeah, we can hit OK here, and there is a live feed once it pulls itself back. Oh, wait a second. Did it just switch back to, wait, what? Why did it go back to TV tuner? Yeah, I want video. And then like it shows up, you know, you can see it in the background there, like there it is. But why when I click OK, it just switches back to like if we go in adjust picture quality, you see it says TV tuner. Alright, so there's been some developments. First off, I have my Super Nintendo plugged into the RF switch to connect it to the coax connection back here. So you see when I'm on channel 3, it will show up. Just go back to there for a second. And yeah, I can also uncheck the muting checkbox there, and you can hear sound is coming through just fine. So that works. Now, in terms of the composite input, I was able to find out that in this channel list here, this is again in that setup wizard, we can click on add, choose channel number, and scroll all the way down to video. And you see, now it shows up in here. So I'm just going to call this vid for the channel name. We'll press OK. So now that's been added in here. So if we click on next and just go through this again, we'll just say finish and leave the password blank. And it's not going to automatically start for us, so we have to go in here and launch it ourselves. So now we should have right above channel 3. There it is. So it's kind of weird that you have to do it this way. You can't just go into adjust picture quality and just change the input. Oh, wait a second. Now it's on video. Okay, so I guess you have to have the video input set as a channel for it to actually change to it. Because if I go channel down, we should be at channel 3. Or now is it permanently in video? Well, I wonder if this works now. Let's try to go back in here and just switch this over to TV tuner. So let's hit OK. And now it's going to switch back to video. Okay, well, what is this? If we click on channel, can we change vid? No. Direct input. Okay, can we try to go to channel 3? We can. Okay. So then if we select video from down here, Okay, so you can swap between it just by using this channel thing down here. Okay, so yeah, but you have to just type in the channel you want manually, and then we get back here. So, I still don't get that. Like, that's so bizarre. But, yeah, apparently you can't just go into settings, change the input, and hit OK, because it's just going to default back to the other one. So you have to change it from down here. Now, I'm sure we could have done that before, because I labeled the channel as vid, not video, and you see that there's a video option down here in this dropdown, so I just missed that. But look, I'm going to call bad UI design on that, because if you have a dropdown in settings, it should just do the exact same thing as going down here. But whatever, it works, and I can press record. Now, I'm curious if we can change the channel and everything. No, we can't, so we're locked on this input when you start recording. So we'll have to stop it. And then we can, you know, change the channel here manually if we want to. So, okay, that's GigaPocket, and that's using both the coax input and the composite input on the back of this thing, which was kind of the main thing I wanted to do with, you know, the pre-installed Sony software. But I guess we can go through and take a look at some of these other things that we have in here. One other thing that stands out to me, though, is the Sony Notebook Setup program here. Let's go ahead and open this up and see what we got. Alright, this gives us some system information. I don't believe I've talked about the specifications yet, so here's that information for you. And of course we have all the product info down there. We've got... Oh, that's actually really nice. We can change the boot device setting like from within here. We don't have to boot into the BIOS to do that, so that's kind of cool. You can set a power on password. You can, yeah, enable or disable devices. So we can turn off the pointing device. I'm guessing that's the mouse that I have. Oh, this is for the built-in touchpad. I was thinking this would be for like the USB mouse that I have plugged in. So we can click OK or yes, and you know, it will disable that. So I mean, I'm moving around on the touchpad right now. You see the pointer is not moving. I have to use the external mouse. This would actually be useful, you know, if you had the thing docked and you had, you know, an external mouse plugged in, and you know, you didn't want your hand accidentally bumping this when you're going up to use the keyboard. So yeah, we'll just re-enable that. We've got station/port replicator. You can change the optical output setting and the output frequency for it. You've got automatic brightness, plug and display. So yeah, this is for if you have it connected to an external display, which we currently don't. And then you've got the S button. So the S button is right up here. We only have S1 on this Vaio. I'm guessing other laptops may have had more. And this is just like a, you know, configurable button, so you can set to do a few things. The default one is GigaPocket, which is actually useful because you're probably going to be accessing that a lot if you're using this, you know, with the dock and you have the, you know, your cable connection hooked up to it or your VCR or whatever. Yeah, so you got GigaPocket, Standby, Hibernate, External Display. Those are your 4 default ones, or you can just have it launch an application and you can specify, you know, whatever exe that you want. Now, what is Welcome to Vaio Life? Let's see what this is about. Is this just some, like, introductory thing? Okay, so this is kind of similar to that Vaio TV program, which we can actually launch from here. So we have music, movies, and pictures, TV, home office, utilities and security, and internet access. So let's do the first one. And, okay, so this is great. It actually, you know, consolidates all of these programs into a nice little menu here. We've got Adobe Premiere. Wait, really? Oh, it's not included with our system. Then why is it in here? What? So this is just some like standard thing they would include with probably all the Vaios in this particular line. So not everything in here is necessarily on the computer. So, okay, Vaio TV is... Okay, it's actually just like a page within this application. So this is the exact same thing we saw before. Home office, utilities, and security. This, I don't think we have TurboTax, actually. Oh, it just opens up in Netscape, okay, or, you know, whatever your default browser is. Oh, it's for the web offer, yeah, but we have Quicken on here. And then we have Norton, and we've got Easy Systems Drag and Drop. I did see it copying this over. So I've actually never used this program before, but I looked at the instructions, and it's actually kind of cool. What you do is you just can drag files over to, you know, whatever section that you want, depending on if you want to make a music CD or a data CD, and just do it like right here from your desktop. And then last but not least in here is internet access, which just talks about all the various ways you can get online through AOL, Netscape. Again, IE comes pre-installed on here because of course it does. I still can't stop just looking at this. I mean, the amount of stuff in this all programs window is just like insane to me, and I feel like it's more excessive than the pre-installed bloatware on these laptops usually are. Now, I've heard that about Sony. I've seen some other Sony laptops that come with just like an egregious amount of nonsense like this, but you know, I've never used a Sony laptop or a desktop as my primary system before, so I guess if you're a Sony Vaio user, or you were at this time, this was probably pretty typical stuff. And if you were computer savvy, you probably just wanted to, you know, use a fresh install of XP that you put on here yourself, and then just download whatever program you want to, you know, utilize the dock with all the inputs and everything. But I'm actually curious. Let's go into my computer and see, like, how much space we're taking up on this drive. Almost half of this drive, or this partition I should say, because we do have local disk D. It did say it was doing this, yeah, during the partitioning. So it just has the C drive with your operating system on it, which, you know, and all your programs and everything, which is 15 gigs in size, and then 54.51 gigs on your D drive, which is going to be like for your data and everything. And you see GigaPocket is storing some stuff in here. These are some of the like test recordings I was making while I was messing around with that. But yeah, just 6.24 gigabytes. And Windows XP requires 1.5 gigabytes of hard drive space. So that's so egregious, but okay. That's that's the Sony Vaio. That's what comes with it. That's some of the stuff you can do with it. There is one more thing I want to do with it though. You know, this thing came out in 2004, and something else came out in 2004. The successor to a game that we always try to play. You know, we're going to play Half-Life 2 on this thing. I mean, you guys probably saw this coming already. And this is actually a Steamless copy of Half-Life 2 that I've got copied over the D drive here after waiting a rather long time for that to finish. And yeah, I gotta thank Case for sending this to me. He's that same person who sent out the Alienware laptop and that Sylvania netbook that I've made a couple videos on. So thank you again. So we're gonna go ahead and just double click on Half-Life 2. And procedure entry point. Okay, so we've got an error. That's wonderful. Well, as it turns out, the reason why Half-Life 2 didn't run is because we didn't have Service Pack 2 installed, and I've done that, and you can see it starts up just fine. And yeah, we're going to go ahead and mess around with this and see how well it performs. I went ahead and bumped the resolution up to the system's native one, so that's again 1920 by 1200. And I've got all of the, you know, video settings in here just set to their defaults, so I've not messed with them. And yeah, we're going to see how well this does. We are experiencing a little bit of lag here on the menu, so I'm guessing it's, you know, we're going to experience some lag in the game as well. Alright, let's make our way to City 17, shall we? Alright, well, a little bit of audio problems there right off the bat.
Not that I wish to imply you have been sleeping on the job.
No one is more deserving of a rest, and all the effort in the world will have gone to waste. Yeah. I mean, it seems like, overall, aside from that first little jitter there, it seems to be doing okay. Well, I mean, there's a little bit of lag, it seems. I feel like it should be playing back a little bit smoother. Smell the ashes. Okay, let's see. Yeah, this is... I can already tell, this is not looking too fantastic here. Let's see when I actually get control. Alright, yeah, this already seems rather unplayable. Yeah, how fun. You know what, let me turn on, show FPS. Alright, looks like right now we're getting a whopping 7 FPS, and we're not even moving. Of course, you know, there's a lot going on here in the world around us because the train's moving and everything, but yeah, not off to a fantastic start. Now, we can lower the graphical settings because it did default like some of those settings to high. So let's just see when we get out here, you know, how well we can move around and stuff, which I'm guessing it's probably not, like, yeah, I mean, still total. Oh, here's a total just lag there. Yeah. Highest we're getting is about 12, or yeah. No, I think I saw 20 there. It seems a little bit better out here, but still, definitely not really playable. Certainly ideally playable. But let's go to video settings here and go to advanced. Let's lower all this stuff because yeah, I'd put some of this stuff on high. That gets us up to about, yeah, we're kind of hovering around 20 FPS. So this is a lot better. Can pan around here. Mostly smooth. Again, not ideal, but this is certainly more playable than it was before. One thing I want to do, though, is actually try to change the resolution, because we do have one other widescreen resolution available to us. But let's see how it does at 1280 by 768 on those same video settings. Yeah, that is totally like we are, you know, a little bit below 60 FPS, because it'll go to yellow when it's above 50 but below 60, and then below 50 I believe everything is red. So we are getting like a little bit of red there, like kind of hopping between yellow and red, but it is okay. Well, now it's kind of getting into the yellow here, but it was green back there. So this is totally playable for me. Hop in here and see Barney. Oh no, we can't go through there. What's going on? Alright, so... Oh, yeah, pick up the can, alright. Oh, you didn't like that, did you? Alright, so out here, you see we're in the red zone. You know, we have a lot more going on, so yeah. Still not bad, but certainly not ideal, which I know I've kind of said a couple times now, but yeah, because we are getting, oh, I think we're getting even into like the 30s there, so yeah, maybe a little bit below 30 actually. It is like really tiny up there, so from where I'm sitting, I'm kind of just like squinting to be able to read it, but you know, I think that this is mostly playable. You would probably have a pretty good time. And, you know, you could always set it to 4x3 and lower it to, like, 640 by 480 or 800 by 600 if you wanted, like, you know, the absolute best performance. But, yeah, there you go. That is a little bit of messing around in Half-Life 2. Sure, we'll save that. And that is going to wrap it up for the Sony Vaio VGN A190. I just want to thank Anthony once again for being so generous and sending me this computer. I'm sorry that it took this long for me to get to making this video, but hey, better late than never, right? And once again, thank you to Gabriel for sending me the necessary restore media, because that definitely came in handy. And in closing, I just want to mention that, you know, when Anthony sent me this computer, he mentioned that this was not actually used by him. It was used by his stepfather, Lewis, before he unfortunately passed away sometime before he, you know, initially reached out to me. Now, I initially didn't want to accept this when he told me that, because I felt bad considering that, you know, this was used by his stepfather and, you know, he would probably want to keep it. But he, you know, reassured me. He was like, no, I want you to have it, and I want you to, you know, showcase it on your channel at some point. I'm sure he kind of hoped I would have gotten to it sooner than I did. So again, sorry about that. But yeah, thank you again, Anthony, for, you know, letting me mess around with this. And if you ever want this back, just reach out to me. You know, I'd be glad to send this back to you if you decide, you know, that you want to have it again, because it's certainly not going anywhere. I'm not going to get rid of it or anything like that. But yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I want to thank you all, of course, as always, so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.